Hi everyone, this is Vandana Tolani signing in from India once again. Welcome to the show Startups Ask once again, starring angel investors and VC answering questions from entrepreneurs and founders. We air every Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. UK time, which is 3 p.m. India time. I am Vanna Tolani, your host for today. Today's show we have shifted to 6 p.m. India time, which is 1:30 p.m. UK time, because our dear guest is from USA and he is, we are very grateful to him. He has come in on this show just about 8:30 a.m. of his time. Let me introduce you to myself. I had my own family office in Singapore and Jakarta. I worked as an investment banker and advisor to family offices and angel investors in Jakarta, Indonesia, helping startups from a diverse background from fintech, B2B tech, all the way to consumer startups. I was raising funds for them and providing them with a wide range of services, just as Convanto does today. After 15 years of staying in Singapore and Jakarta, I came back to India. I did investments for a bit, then returned to advising. That is when Convanto was founded. Today, Convanto is one of the most well known boutique investment banks in India, led by a female founder. I'm also a venture advisor with Loyal VC, the INSEAD-led Canadian VC Fund, having a core portfolio of 160 investments in more than 35 countries. I'm also a partner with GST Venture Studios, a Silicon Valley based venture builder. Over the years, I've arranged funding for startups and growth stage companies in diverse sectors like edutech, fintech, consumer, B2C, B2B, agri-tech, health tech, food tech, disruptive, and deep tech, as well as non tech sectors. Please do have a look at my website for the wonderful testimonials written by my client. This month, I've been nominated as the top 10 women leaders in wealth management 2021. My expert opinion is often sought by leading business news channels and publications like VCTV, Business World, and I have participated in 155 talks all over the world. You can easily see them on YouTube and VCTV streaming sites. I'm connected with 300 investors globally and I pick up global deals. Now, today's show is quite interesting. Um, since our guest today is Mr. Ernest, the president and CEO, and he is, a well-seasoned entrepreneur and executive with 25 years of experience in a multitude of industries in both public and private companies. He has succeeded in quarterbacking companies from startup to exit in the capacity of owner executive, including the first US public company in the aquaculture industry in 1999, which amassed 1,200 shareholders under his leadership. He has raised over 20 million for his companies and held 3 patents over 20 trademarks. Throughout his career, Mr. Ernest has been an industry pioneer and visionary founder, highly skilled to rapidly enhance margins and value. He has been invited as speaker on business development and technology across the globe and featured on many media platforms, including Discovery Channel, National Geographic, The Wall Street Journal, South Florida Business Journal, and many others. Mr. Ernest has a BS degree from the Union College and MS degree from Northeastern University. He is currently the founder and president of Advanced Integrative Medical Enterprises, and the OMED SPA's AIME is developing a national chain of specialized medical clinics under the OMED SPA brand exclusively for women, offering a premier selection of femtech treatments to treat, optimize their sexual health and wellness, slow the aging process, and enhance beauty without massive invasive surgery, pain, and long term recovery, so that they can achieve a better sex life, younger experience, and overall greater quality of life. They also bring their services directly to home through a unique technology based mobile wellness services platform and innovative mobile app. I would now humbly request Mr. Ernest to talk about himself and his venture and what led him to get into this startup.
Good morning or good afternoon from where you are. Thank you for having me, Vandana. I appreciate it. I'm glad to be here and excited to participate in this morning's event. As you explained, I've had 25 years as a serial entrepreneur in a number of different industries. I'm very excited to launch into the healthcare industry and specifically into women's healthcare. After over 6 months of due diligence in the industry, I was absolutely enamored with the large market share in the women's healthcare market and the complete void of any national presence in terms of a franchise model or a chain to really empower women to solve these issues of sexual health and wellness and sexual dysfunction that have long been a very taboo subject, especially in the United States. So these issues are no different than any others as we age. They're sensitive issues, but they should be talked about. They should be dealt with because there's no reason that women's issues have to be taboo and have to be discreet because they're issues like wrinkles and gray hair and anything else as we age that there are solutions for. So we've come up with a business model, again, to empower women and give them the opportunity in a private, comfortable environment to talk about these issues and to resolve them with painless, non-invasive, and non-surgical procedures. So our business model is simple yet pulls in technology. We've created an environment, a spa environment with medical services. So we're going to create a national chain of clinics under our OMED Spa brand that are female run and managed so that when a woman comes in, she feels comfortable in a private environment that only has from a women receptionist to a women medical staff, that she feels comfortable in talking about the issues of sexual intimacy and dysfunction, as well as other issues that are fundamental to women like hormone balancing, diet, nutrition, weight loss, and also beauty and aesthetics, because they go hand in hand. Women and men also have to feel comfortable externally and internally in their health and wellness. And interestingly, as I spoke to women throughout the country and I did further diligence, women are very excited about this concept because as we stand right now, women have no place to go for these type of services. Basically, women have had two options in the past, and that is an OBGYN, which is a cold medical environment, which no woman enjoys going to, which really they have no solutions other than drugs and surgery for things like vaginal laxity and urinary incontinence and low libido. So, and then the other option is plastic surgery, and plastic surgery is extremely invasive, painful, and very, very expensive. And typically people don't go in for plastic surgery until things are pretty well along. In other words, you don't go in for a few wrinkles or a smile line. People wait till either intimate issues or facial issues are pretty well along. So what we've come up with is bringing in the latest feminine technology in terms of different grades of laser, radio frequency, and electromagnetic therapies, which are non-invasive, as I said, non-surgical and painless, to help women with these issues, and they're very effective. So that women no longer have to either hide or deal with those issues, and there's no reason why preventive medicine and functional medicine shouldn't be on the forefront of our healthcare system.
Thank you, Ernest. That was very, very well explained. I have a few questions. What is your vision for AIME and the OMED spas? I mean, what was your vision when you got this platform into your system?
And and eventually an international presence, and as I said, to give access to women all over the country and all over the world, a place where they can go in a private environment and deal with these issues. But as a businessman, my vision was to create a national brand. There exists no national brand right now. I mean, these are issues that are experienced by over 85% of women, sexual dysfunction at some point in their lives. And as far as aesthetics go, women are now from 25 starting maintenance on these issues. So there's a huge market up to $26 billion in the US. And yet, surprisingly, there's not a single national brand or chain addressing this. There are men's chains that are specifically for men's health and wellness that deal with hormone balancing and erectile dysfunction, but there's nothing for women. So my vision was to create this atmosphere for women and establish a brand that they equated with that privacy, comfort, and all women environment that they could go to and speak freely about these issues. Also, to create an adjunct to our clinical environment for certain clients that wanted the services directly to their own homes. So we've created a mobile app, which I'm sure we'll get into later, to allow access to our mobile wellness platform to take certain services, not all of our services, but certain services into the privacy of the home. So if people want to book an appointment, they don't want to come into the clinic for whatever reason, we can take our services mobilely into the home.
I see. Very well explained. I would like to also know what is the larger problem that you are solving, and what is so unique about med spa model, which attracts your audience, and as an entrepreneur, what actually attracted you to this space? So, on the whole, what is the problem that you are solving for the community, and why do you feel the model is unique or disruptive, and why you went into this?
Sure. Well, the problem is pretty widespread. As I mentioned before, you have issues like sexual dysfunction in women, which affects 85% of women at some point in their lives. So that's a big issue. Stress urinary incontinence, as women have children and get older and the pelvic floor weakens, you start getting stress urinary incontinence when there's a cough and a sneeze, and so these are major issues. Stress urinary incontinence over 50% of the population, and sexual dysfunction over 88% of the population of women. And these are issues that women do talk to their physicians about, but mostly OBGYN. So it's actually sexual dysfunction is actually the number one issue that women talk about with their physicians. So that's part of the problem. The problem is that women have these problems, and it's been a taboo subject for a long time. So they're embarrassed, if you will, to speak to them for a number of reasons that we went over. Number one, it's their intimacy issues. Number two, oftentimes there's mixed company with males that makes it very uncomfortable. And number three, it can be embarrassing. So it shouldn't be embarrassing because we all go through issues as we age. As I said, they're no different from your hair becoming gray as you get older. They're things that happen. So it's just the path of life. So that's one issue. The other issue is that there's nowhere for women to go. They have issues, and we know that. There's no place for them to go to solve the issues. So it's a major problem. The third issue, in a recent article that just came out, 4 out of 5 Americans want to change at least one part of their body. And about a third of all of those people are considering a non-invasive cosmetic procedure over the next 12 months. So that gives you a framework of the mass quantities of people that are really unhappy with themselves physically and or have a problem. So again, creating that environment where people feel comfortable in discussing these issues and getting them treated. The other aspect that we're going to bring to the table is an educational component. And again, people always want to sell and make money, and of course that's the bottom line. But we want to provide our customers with an educational component. And by that I mean we're going to offer people social seminars at our clinics twice monthly where they can come in a social happy hour type of environment. And each social seminar will have a speaker. It'll either be our medical staff or a guest speaker from around the world or locally to talk about a particular subject matter. And that may be anything from hormone balancing to energy, to weight loss, to sexual rejuvenation, stress urinary incontinence, could be any subject matter. And it'll be short, it'll be 20 to 30 minutes, where people can come in, they can have a glass of wine, they can see the clinic, they can get an educational component and have a nice time and actually learn something in an audience that's all women. So there's no uncomfortable. So we're really trying to break down that barrier. As far as what makes us unique, I think we is establishing a brand, a national brand is number one. Number two, we're bringing all the latest feminine technologies for women under one roof. Again, you have wellness clinics now that mass market to everyone, and they dabble in women's sexual health. They may offer a procedure or two, but they're not focused on it. That's not their area of expertise. Our medical staff and our clinics are 100% focused on women and women exclusively from ages 25 to 70. So that's what we do, and that's our key focus. So it's a technology aspect, it's a mobile aspect, it's a first mover and branding aspect that make the company truly unique and a target market that's extremely laser focused on women and women's health. What actually got me involved in it, I get this question a lot. I'm a man in a women's healthcare market, but my answer to that is twofold. Number one, I think women, as a man, we all have women in our lives. We have wives, mothers, sisters, daughters, etc. So our lives are always influenced by the women that are in our lives. And if the women in our lives have issues, then it affects us directly. So we want the women in our lives to be happy and healthy and have those issues resolved. And I've had friends, relatives, etc., family members that have had issues. And so I sought to solve those issues. And as I got further along as a businessman in doing diligence in the industry for functional medicine and wellness, I really saw that the complete absence of a venue for women to go to in this arena. My original thought in getting involved was to develop a multi-dimensional wellness clinic for everyone. But as I got further involved in it, it was very clear what was necessary in this industry, and it wasn't a broad-scoped functional medicine clinic. It was something that was laser focused on women because that was the need in the marketplace, clearly.
Very well explained. Thank you for this. Also, I wanted to understand, why do you feel the timing is right to launch a national chain of, exclusive women clinics? I mean, I really believe that you have an exciting vision, but I just wanted to understand why you feel the timing is right now to launch it.
Yeah, so I'd like to show you a graphic which kind of explains that very simply.
You could share your screen for that.
Yeah. So the question is, why is the time now the optimal time to launch? And this schematic kind of gives a good idea of what's happening there in the marketplace, as I explained previously. date, the only option for women to solve these issues really has been plastic surgery. As you can see from the schematic, plastic surgery is expensive, painful, long-term recovery, very invasive, and treats more severe conditions. So you had a limited market. These are people that had, again, more severe conditions, people that were willing to spend $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 on an expensive plastic surgery procedure. So this eliminated a lot of people in the marketplace. Given the onset of technologies, again with the development and really refinement, not only development but true refinement of a lot of the CO2 and refracting lasers that target varying depths of the skin. The technology has become so advanced now that it hit this trigger point in the market. Secondly, the mobile health.
Ernest, you are on mute. You're on mute. Could you unmute? Yeah, sure.
Am I back? I'm not on mute.
Yeah, you're back, but your screen, could you share your screen again? Yeah.
You see it?
Yeah, I see.
Where did I cut off? At the beginning?
Is it now the time to launch this?
Oh, so you didn't hear anything that I had said before, I guess.
I heard a few stuff, yeah.
Yeah, so basically what I was discussing is the market, the width of the market prior to the onset of technology and the mobile services. And up until this, recently in the market, plastic surgery was the only avenue really to address many of these issues of women's intimacy issues and facial aesthetics. And plastic surgery, again, as you see on the schematic, is very expensive. It's invasive, painful, long-term recovery, and really treats more severe conditions. So it's very limiting in the market breadth of candidates that really would undergo this. People that are willing to spend 10, 15, 20,000 and more for a procedure, and it's really more for more severe conditions. So the onset of technologies and the development and actually refinement now of CO2 and fractional lasers, which allow varying degrees of penetration into the skin, also radio frequency waves and electromagnetic therapies have brought a whole new light to the treatment of facial aesthetics, wrinkles, collagen development, as well as sexual dysfunction issues. So these are natural kind of treatments in terms of they stimulate the body's own collagen to produce more, to tighten up loose areas. So it's really it's non-invasive from that perspective. The second aspect is what we bring to the table in terms of our mobile health service coming into the home with our services. And COVID has had a large impact on this market, obviously, because people are more inclined to have services in their home than they are to go out into other environments. Certain people, other people are certainly more open to coming into a clinical environment. But many services, including veterinary, some dental, massage, cleaning, even mobile other aspects of mobile health are all vacillating and targeting more mobile applications now. So that's where a lot of services are headed, is into the home. So what does that do between technology and the mobile health platform? Is it really has opened up that market. It's opened it up because you now have people that have lower incomes, maybe not the money they can invest that 10 to 20,000 plus in a procedure. You also have people that have less severe conditions that would like to be treated with less invasive procedures. So this opens up a wide market. It also opens up the age market because people, the younger people in the millennial generation, really aren't, unless there's severe conditions, really don't go for plastic surgery at that age. So it treats very mild up to severe conditions, and most of the procedures are absolutely painless and far, far less expensive. So it's an ideal time now where technology has met and mobile health services have created an opportunity for us to really expand the marketplace.
So, as we have only 4 minutes left for the show, I have just a few questions now. What is your ask from the investors? And what would you be using these funds for? And not only that, if you could share your closing remarks also for the show and where we could reach out to you, where the investors could reach out to you.
Certainly.
I'll repeat the question. What is your ask from the investors and what you would be using the funds for?
Yes. So our ask is we're raising a seed round of 1.25 million for approximately 30% equity interest in the company, with warrants attached to purchase an additional 8% pre-money at a $4.2 million pre-money valuation. And this is really going to provide us with that 12-month of runway to work on our client development, the remainder of our app development, establishing our brand recognition, and also launching our mobile wellness platform. So, and we're looking, our investors can expect that we're going to be a distribution company to our shareholders. Our projected ROIs are outstanding. And I'm really targeting, as I have in the past, a planned exit strategy for after the third year of operation via an IPO. In terms of the capital needs, 72% of the funds will be going toward our leasehold improvements, our advertising and marketing budget to establish our brand and initiate our client, and our working capital.
What are your closing remarks for today's show and where could the investors reach out to you?
So I'll put that up. So the investors can reach out to me via email at edp@theomedspa.com, theomedspa.com, or on LinkedIn at theomedspa.com. And my closing remarks are, I appreciate the opportunity to be here today. Again, in 25 years of business development and a public company and a large private exit, I would say that this is by far the most exciting venture I've been involved in, because of the fact that I see just the global influence that this type of business will have in the future. And we're right at that cusp where women's groups and various marketing influencing groups are now coming out to empower women to really solve these issues that they've been holding on to for a long time. And as we know, these issues don't just affect women, they affect men in many different ways in relationships. I've had several friends that have experienced divorce because because of issues involved in this area. To speak frankly, I mean, having a healthy sex life and attitude toward that is very, very important. It's very important for relationships. It's very important for personal self-esteem. So we want to be the go-to clinical environment for women to be able to come and feel comfortable, and that their privacy is upheld, and to have a viable alternative to solving these issues to plastic surgery.
I would like to thank you for coming to this show and giving us your precious time. Similar to Ernest, I could be reached out on LinkedIn or my website www.convanto.com. And all our investors looking at this show, I would highly recommend all of you to invest in this disruptive platform created specially for women. Thank you, Ernest. Thank you, Abhibek. Thank you, the entire team of Platokan, for having us today here on Startups Ask. See you next week again, and bye for now.